Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we're diving into a force of nature that is quietly, and I mean radically, reshaping our world one stick at a time. And it all kicks off with a pretty wild question.
I know, it sounds a little weird, right? We think of engineering as all concrete and steel, a totally human thing. But what if the most effective, most restorative engineer on the planet was an animal?
All right, so that brings us to our first section. We're going to see how the beaver isn't just some creature out in the woods. It's a master architect and a brilliant hydrologist.
So to really get what makes beavers so amazing, you've got to understand the world they work in. A huge portion of the stream miles in the US are what scientists call intermittent. Basically, they only flow sometimes, after it rains or the snow melts. Think of them like the tiny little capillaries of a watershed. The health of the whole system can depend on these little trickles.
And this is where our furry little hero comes in. When a beaver decides to build a dam in one of these part-time streams, oh man, everything changes. It's not just a little change. The very physics of the place start to shift. It sets off this incredible chain reaction that can literally bring a dry creek bed roaring back to life.
So how in the world does this happen? Let's actually break down the beaver's blueprint and see how one simple structure, made of sticks and mud, mind you, can completely rewrite the rules for an entire ecosystem.
Okay, so it all kicks off when the dam slows down the water. But that's just the start. That slow water soaks deep into the ground, raising the water table all around it. Then, the water drops all the sediment it was carrying, which builds up this rich, fertile soil. Of course, new plants pop up, those plants attract insects, which then attract fish and birds, and boom. Just like that, you have a vibrant, thriving wetland where there was once just dry ground.
You know, the U.S. Geological Survey described it perfectly. It's like watching a magic trick in slow motion. But this isn't magic. It's engineering, powered by the simplest tools imaginable, teeth and sticks. It's just incredible.
And get this isn't just some neat little fact for a nature documentary. The beaver's impact is so huge that scientists have actually had to update their climate and water models. They now have to add something called a beaver influence layer, because without it, the predictions are just plain wrong. These animals are literally rewriting the maps we use to understand our own planet.
Okay, so if beavers are this incredible, you'd think we'd be rolling out the red carpet for them, right? Well, not exactly. And the reason why brings us to our next section, where this amazing natural engineering runs smack into a very human challenge.
So here's the catch. There are these huge stretches of land, places that could be these thriving ecosystems, but they're locked away. And we're not just talking about barbed wire fences. We're talking about fences made of paperwork, of legal jargon, of trusts that make it impossible for people who want to help to even get on the land.
And this really just lays out the whole conflict, doesn't it? On one side, you have nature's plan, this amazing potential for healing and life. And on the other, you have all these hurdles we've created. The very people who want to be stewards of the land, who want to help, often find themselves completely locked out.
So, that's the problem. How do we fix it? Well, there's a new blueprint for action out there, and it's being pioneered by a group that's dedicated to, you guessed it, tearing down those fences.
There's this amazing organization called Wildlife Parks Unlimited, and they are tackling this problem head-on. Their whole mission is simple, but it's so powerful. They want to restore our access to the wild by taking down all those barriers that have kept people and nature apart. And the way they do it is really straightforward and all about community. It's a member-supported movement, so that funding allows them to do the hard work of reopening lands, rebuilding habitats, and just restoring that crucial connection between us and the wild.
But it's about so much more than just funding. It's about a shared ethos, a shared promise. Every single member agrees to these principles. It turns the whole community into this responsible, powerful force for good, all guided by respect, service, and, my favorite, being a lifelong learner.
In this, right here, is where this huge idea about beavers and ecosystems connects directly back to you and me. I mean, how can one person really make a difference? Well, it starts with the exact same principle as a beaver dam, one small piece at a time.
Their whole model for getting stuff done is built around this idea of the tiny task. And it's exactly what it sounds like. A small, super simple action that anybody can do anywhere without any special gear. The whole idea is that these tiny acts, when we all do them, add up to absolutely massive change.
So what does a tiny task even look like? Well, it could be as simple as this. You just snap one photo of a local spot. A creek bed, a vacant lot, whatever. A place that you think could use a little love.
Or hey, maybe even simpler. Just sharing 10 words about something you noticed outside. Saw 2 bees on the purple flowers by the curb. That's it. It's a tiny observation, but it contributes to a much bigger picture.
Or it could just be about growing the community. You know, just like one family of beavers can transform an entire valley, inviting one friend can literally double our power to do good.
And what happens when thousands of people do these tiny things? You get this amazing living map. Every photo, every observation, every new member helps to pinpoint the places that need healing. It's a map that shows us exactly where we need to get to work.
It all comes down to this one simple, powerful idea. It's a great reminder that our collective action is the key. Every single person who joins in, every hand that helps out, helps take down another one of those fences and opens up more land for restoration.
So we started with the beaver, nature's engineer, building these incredible ecosystems one single stick at a time. And that's really the big lesson here, isn't it? Massive, world-changing things begin with one simple action. So the real question is, what's your first stick going to be?